All right, so you guys wanted a deep dive. Well, let me tell you, you're getting one. We're talking Sunny Jetsun. And this dude's writing, it's like, whoa. Seriously, makes a mushroom trip look like a stroll in the park.
Oh, understatement of the century. This isn't just surrealism, it's weaponized surrealism.
Right.
Dude's like, he took philosophy, pop culture, a whole lot of crazy, chucked it in a blender, hit puree.
And then just poured it onto the page.
And somehow it works. Like, I'm reading this stuff, right? 1 minute it's Bhagavad Gita, next it's some dude in a top hat riding a bear into space. Vipatai's story of the, what the hell?
$1 million question, right. But that image there, that's Sunny in a nutshell. Ancient wisdom meets total absurdity.
Yeah.
This search for something beyond the bullshit, yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to dig it. But how's all this weirdness connect to, like, the actual stuff he's writing about? Because this dude does not shy away from controversy.
Not even. A little bit. Take technology, for instance. He's obsessed with it, but also kind of terrified. Yeah, the whole hematite monitors and thought police surveillance. Creepy shit.
Bingo. Tapping into this very real fear of surveillance, the loss of privacy.
Yeah.
Like, what happens when online and offline are just gone, when our own thoughts aren't even safe?
And it's not just, like, paranoia, right? Facial recognition everywhere, algorithms predicting what we'll do, everything tracked.
Exactly. That's why people connect with his writing. Is like, yeah, it's kind of nuts, but it speaks to this deep down fear we all have about technology, about progress, but the dark side, you know, the stuff we don't want to talk about.
And then, on top of all that, he throws in spirituality. And not just your casual Sunday service stuff. We're talking like Krishna, meditation, psychedelics, sometimes all at once. What's that about?
I think for Sunny, spirituality is less about dogma, more about searching for meaning. The world's gone mad, so he's looking for answers.
We're not so much about finding answers, but
asking the big questions. Life, death, what's real, those fun existential crises. And he's down to experiment. Meditation retreat one day, rave and Goa the next. Anything goes.
Sounds more interesting than my average Sunday, that's for sure.
Right. But that's Sunny, pushing boundaries, making you question everything. This dude forces you to confront the uncomfortable truths about yourself, about the world.
And he does it with this writing style that's just as explosive and unpredictable as his ideas. So we've got Sunny Jetsun, this like spiritual anarchist dude, right? 1 minute he's deep in ancient texts, the next he's off raving in Goa.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, he's trying to find this bridge between, like, enlightenment and pure chaos.
Total chaos. And speaking of chaos, this dude has some serious thoughts about the state of the world, man. Like, it's not all meditation and good vibes. He gets downright apocalyptic about the environment.
Oh, for sure. For Sunny, the whole environmental destruction thing, it's not just some political issue, it's personal, you know?
Definitely.
Like, remember that line about Earth being this precious jewel we're destroying with our own greed?
Oh, yeah, that was intense.
That's not just some hippie talk. That's coming from a place of, like, real grief, real anger.
And he's not just, like, on about climate change, right? He's got this whole thing about technology poisoning the planet, too.
Yeah, he's connecting the dots.
Right.
Their digital addiction and how it's trashing the actual physical world. GMOs, surveillance tech. He even talks about carbon footprint of a tank.
Yeah.
Always reminding us our online lives have these very real consequences.
So what are we supposed to do? Ditch our smartphones? Go live in a yurt?
I don't think it's about, like, total rejection of technology. It's more about balance, being aware of how we're using it, what we're giving up for it.
Right.
Remember when he talks about just turning off the gas and just being? I think that's key for him.
Okay, so less scrolling, more meditation.
Something like that, yeah. A digital detox, basically. Reclaiming our minds, getting back in touch with the natural world. He sees that disconnect, that constant information overload as a kind of prison, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. Like, how many times you had out to dinner with someone, they're glued to their phone the whole time? It's like they're not even there.
Exactly. That's Sunny's point. He's like, wake up, look around. You're missing out on life because you're too busy staring at a screen.
Easier said than done, but yeah, I get it. So if tech's part of the problem, is spirituality the answer?
It's a big part of his own, like, personal equation for sure. Meditation, quieting the mind, that connection to nature we've lost. But it's not about blindly following some guru or organized religion.
It's about that internal revolution thing he keeps talking about.
Exactly. Finding peace in the chaos. He wants a radical shift in consciousness, a way of being that's about compassion, awareness, respect for, well, everything.
It's pretty utopian, especially these days. But I guess that's the point, right? To at least imagine something better, even if it seems impossible.
And to try and make it happen however we can. For Sunny, that means questioning everything, challenging the status quo, never losing sight of our humanity, even amidst all the.
Bullshit.
Exactly. But he's not just some, like, passive observer either. He gets seriously political sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Calling out corruption, injustice, the whole 9 yards.
Remember that rant about the military-industrial complex? How it just perpetuates war?
Heavy stuff.
He sees those systems of oppression as symptoms of this deeper sickness, like a collective delusion we're all buying into.
So what's the cure? Meditation over militarization?
It's not that simple. And knowing Sunny, he'd probably hate those kinds of labels anyway. It's not about passivity. It's about being more conscious, more engaged,
Okay.
recognizing our own part in these messed up systems and actively trying to dismantle them, both in ourselves and in the world.
So inside job first.
Mm.
Change yourself, change the world.
That's the gist, yeah. But, with a good dose of cynicism and dark humor thrown in, don't forget, this is a guy who writes about riding bears into space with Bataille. He's not afraid to get weird, to shake things up.
Which, honestly, we could all use a little more of these days.
Totally. And that's why Sunny Jetsun, even with all his, contradictions and craziness, he's such an important voice right now. He's reminding us that we create our own reality. And sometimes the only way to find truth is to break all the rules, dive headfirst into the unknown.
Okay, so we've gone deep on Sunny Jetsun, the spirituality, the tech, the whole end of the world thing. But there's this other side to his writing we haven't really touched on. Love and sex. And let's just say this ain't your typical love story.
Definitely not for the faint of heart. But I think under all that, raw emotion, the explicit stuff, there's a real vulnerability there, this deep need for connection that kind of runs through all his work.
Yeah, he talks about these intense, almost spiritual connections he's had with women, but there's also this sadness, jealousy, this sense that real intimacy, it's always just out of reach,
Totally. He's scared of being alone, but also scared of being tied down. That whole push and pull between freedom and commitment, it comes up a lot.
Yeah, it's like he can't live with it,
Yeah.
but can't live without it.
Exactly. Remember that line, to love is to lose control, to surrender to the madness of another. Intense, right?
Yeah, he does not hold back.
He sees love as this force that can set you free, but also destroy you.
And he's not afraid to go there. Like the dark side of desire, the obsession, the power struggles, even violence. Not exactly your typical love poem material.
True, but I think that's what makes it so powerful. He's not trying to romanticize love or give you some fairy tale version of relationships. It's the raw, messy truth. The wanting, the fucking up, the getting hurt, and still this constant search for that real connection, even when it seems impossible.
Oh, man. So where does that leave us? What's the final word on Sunny Jetsun after this whole deep dive?
I think the biggest thing is he doesn't give you easy answers. He's not some guru with a 10-step plan to enlightenment. He's more like a mirror, reflecting all the good, the bad, the totally messed up parts of being human.
Yeah, no kidding.
He wants us to question everything, embrace the unknown, and find our own way through this whole crazy thing we call life.
He definitely pushes buttons, challenges what you think you know, throws you way out of your comfort zone.
Totally.
But maybe that's what we need, right? In a world that's constantly telling us who to be, what to think.
He reminds us there's no right way to live, to love, to find meaning. It's about being open, questioning, embracing the mystery, and maybe, just maybe, finding a little bit of that magic, that cosmic bear riding magic, for ourselves.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the wild world of Sunny Jetsun. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep it weird.